Welcome, everyone, to the Rendered Image Show. I'm your host, Tyler Babb, and today we'll be talking about movie news. Well, tonight we'll be talking about movie news, all the movie news. Welcome, everyone. You can interact with me in the chat. You can, if you have a YouTube account, you can come in, you can talk to me, and I'll interact with you on the chat. But today we'll be looking at some Mortal Kombat 2021. The reviews are in. We'll be taking a look at Rotten Tomatoes. And kind of looking at what critics are saying, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on how I feel like the movie's going to go. And and then we will be taking a look or kind of talking about the new Batman movie that's supposed to come out with Matt Reeves directing and Robert Pattinson starring as Batman. That got pushed to March of 2022, so we have a little bit to wait, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm going to basically just kind of talk about what I want to see out of the movie and what I kind of expect, and giving you a little bit a rundown on what's possibly going on. I don't want to really go into a lot of spoilers because I want to try to stay spoiler-free for those who don't want spoilers, but I will talk about basically what I want to see in the movie and what I hope that they achieve, so... excuse my cough. I have a cough tonight, so please excuse. I do have water, which is very important when you do these types of streams. I see Wanda's in the chat. How you doing, Wanda? Yeah. Sorry. Welcome, guys. If you're new here and if you want to drop a like, that would be greatly appreciated. Likes help out the channel and help out the stream. We recently just crossed 100 subscribers, and that is a milestone that I'm greatly proud of. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. It really helps out a lot. We've only been doing this for a few months. I think the end of February is when I started this, so super cool to see it grow as fast as it has. I thank you guys so much, and I really hope that you guys have a fun time. What's cool is I've enabled little notifications. So, what's up? Armand says, hey, T-Baby. Both of us are here. How you guys doing? The Sultan Twins. Oh, my goodness. I'm coughing. I got some cookies. This is a little Easter bunny. That's pretty fun. Easter bunny cookie. I'm not going to eat that on stream, but I figured I'd show you that it's here. But no, what I wanted to show you, like I said, we recently passed 100 subscribers, which was super cool. And I got these little alerts and these little notifications. So if you subscribe, if you're new and you haven't subscribed and you subscribe during a stream, this will pop up. And I want to give a shout out to our latest subscriber. So, yeah. Woo! The Takeover CTMG. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. So I pulled that up manually, but yeah. So I'm gonna try to shout out my latest subscribers during the streams. So thank you so much. Little known fact: I actually know him. He's actually a friend. One of my close friends who we used to work together. We used to make music together. So very cool. Thank you for the support, DC. His name is DC. So thank you so much. Oh, did I dab? Oh, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to hear what you guys think of the Batman and Mortal Kombat and all that fun stuff. There's another dab. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's probably pretty loud. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here and dropping likes and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much. What else do I want to say? If you want to support the channel on a more like permanent or a monthly basis, you can join the channel's Patreon, where we have exclusive movie commentaries. I'll be putting up tutorials. I'm also in the process of making a thesis film at the moment for my school, so I'll be kind of posting videos on there, some behind the scenes exclusive content for that. There's a ton of other stuff coming down the pipeline, but I can't talk about it right now. So, but yeah, very exciting. But we're here to talk about movie news. So, you know what? Let's waste no time and let's get right into the topics. Shall we? All right. So, Mortal Kombat. What do we think about Mortal Kombat? Well, the reviews have come in, and oh my goodness. So the reviews have come in, and they seem to be a little mixed, which is expected, right? I feel like Mortal Kombat fans are going to love this movie. This is very much like a movie made for the fans. There's no I don't know how you make a Mortal Kombat film that isn't geared towards the fans. You know? Like, of course it's going to be not necessarily like low on, or like plot wise. I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, it's going to be very, very, very fan servicey for sure. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I do feel like critics maybe go, like, I don't really, like, you have to go in knowing what you're going to watch. You're going to watch a Mortal Kombat movie. Okay. For sure. But anyways, let's get into it. So right now, sorry, wrong keyboard. Right now it's sitting at like a 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now take these with I always look at reviews. I look at them, but I don't take them to heart necessarily because I like to, go see it for yourself, I'm definitely going to go see this movie. I want to see this movie. I want to support it because I think it's going to be good enough that it probably will deserve a sequel. I don't know. I but my expectations are very mediocre, but I'm excited to see like the fight scenes. Like, yeah, give me that. Give me like an all-out brawl movie. And I think it'll probably be, you know what? And if they make it a little bit, obviously modernize it, but if they make it a little bit more like the 90s film, like, I'd be down. Like, yeah, bring that kind of cheesiness back. Like, we're in a world right now where everything has to be so serious, right? And all these movies, except for maybe like Guardians or what, there are movies, and like the new Suicide Squad looks like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it'd be nice to kind of get back to that cheese and that, the cheesiness. So yeah. Yeah, I got my water. Armand says that cough is legendary. Yes, it is. Action-driven, to the point story. I don't know what's your question. What are you questioning there? Either way, sorry about that. But yeah, no. So let's look at some reviews. This one is a rotten. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's just like the blurb that they have at the top. It says, "Here for taking everything so seriously, the only ones who are not going to get bored are the fans of the video game." Okay, well, that's pretty much what I just said. So that makes sense. Oh, okay. Armand says, like no one sees Godzilla movie for the plot. Yeah, for sure. And so that's why I'm just like, that's the thing that you can't get from these reviews. Like video reviews, sure. But these reviews, it's like, I have no idea what preconceived notions these people went into this movie with, what bias they have, like who they work for, if they want the movie to be successful, so you never know the motive behind these things, but it's interesting to read them, I guess, maybe. This one is a fresh. It says, despite its shaky foundations, largely made up of a jumble of cliches that include the prophecies and the rigorously chosen ones. The prophecies and the rigorously chosen ones, that must mean like the characters in Mortal Kombat get chosen for the tournament. The ensemble works like a charm within the uncomplexed tone of the film. Interesting. Here's another fresh. It says, Mortal Kombat manages to be a much more faithful adaptation of the first film by taking fatalities to the extreme on screen and without fear of classification for an adult audience. Cool. Like, that's almost all I want in a Mortal Kombat movie. Just give me great action, Really, seriously. And like a decent story. Like I said, I don't need, not every story, not every movie needs to be, the biggest, the best drama, whatever. Like the more I watch stuff, and the more I kind of, as you grow older, you realize, like, of course, things are made for different people, and this is clearly made for the fans, and that's totally fine. I think they deserve a Mortal Kombat movie They deserve a good one, and I'm hoping that it's good enough that it makes enough money and it can get a sequel. Because I feel like this is going to be one of those franchises that does get a sequel. I think it's going to be popular. I think it's going to be good enough to get a sequel. And then as we get sequels, I think the films will evolve, and I hope they'll get better. Or this is the challenge. You don't want a Mortal Kombat. You don't want like 4 Mortal Kombat sequels, and then have them just be like stale, right? Like they never get better or they never progress. Like that's kind of my worry, but hopefully we can avoid that. And also too, so it's like it's a first-time director, and I've always like it's his first feature film, and I always find that fascinating because what like so if this is your first feature film, you just decided, yeah, for my first feature film, I'm gonna make Mortal Kombat. Like I guess that like I don't know how like I guess, but that's a big swing. You know, that's a lot of pressure. I think I would not want to make my first feature be Mortal Kombat. I'd be under so much pressure. Like, you know, maybe get your feet wet with something else first. But who knows? Maybe he does a good enough job. I don't know. It doesn't sound like he like makes a masterpiece, but that's fine. And I will go support the guy. What do you guys say about Mortal Kombat here? Wanda says, I'm interested in seeing it, but not super excited about it. I think the effects will be fun to see. Yeah. I think that might be the majority of people's expectations. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what most people think when they go into it. They're just like, oh, you know, whatever. Stream Elements is like spamming this stuff hardcore, and I apologize. That is kind of annoying. Oh yes, Tyson showed up to the After Dark stream. How you doing? I stream again on this channel. I do a nightly one, so we're here talking about kind of the same stuff, pretty much. There'll be other things sprinkled in, but I streamed earlier in the day too. And yeah, I'm gonna need. I apologize. I'm gonna need to fix the Stream Elements setting, and so it doesn't like spam the chat so much, because that's kind of annoying. But either way, we can keep. I don't really know how many more of these we'll do. Let's see. Let's read another fresh one. Mortal Kombat is a display of powerful images with ... almost 2 hours. Oh, we read that already in the last stream. Sorry. Is that it? I guess that's it. I really don't want to read another Rotten review, so there are a few more up here, but I don't really want to read them. That is true. So Armand in the chat drew parallels to Mad Max, and like I agree. Now, will it be as good? Probably not. But it's interesting that you draw comparisons to Mad Max, because they could definitely take this universe in that direction. And I wonder how much inspiration they actually drew from Mad Max. That's a very good thought. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys plan on are you guys comfortable enough to go to theaters? Are you guys going to go to theaters to see this, or are you guys going to watch it on HBO Max? Where do you guys plan on watching this movie? Yeah, so you're talking about Armand says the action in the movie is easy to follow, and I think from the trailers it looks to be like it's not very cutty. You know what I'm saying? Like they let the choreography play out. For sure. I think they let the choreography play out pretty well from what I can see in the trailers. So that's also a huge plus, because yeah, I don't want to watch a bunch of like cut up fight scenes. Like that's not something that's appealing to me. Armand says HBO. He put the eyes, so he says eyes HBO. Sorry. Gotta remember not to cough towards the microphone. Wanda says, I'm excited to get back to the theater, and this may be a good one to go to. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're comfortable with it, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I've heard, I think AMC does a great job keeping things clean and like social distancing. I watched one review of this movie, and they said they were in Australia because this movie got released overseas last week, and it doesn't come out to us until the 23rd. But they basically said that like nobody was in the theater. So again, and it'll be interesting to see how it does in the theater and how it performs in HBO Max and the difference there. Yeah, but the guys in Australia were like, yeah, there was nobody in our theater. So I don't know if that's good or bad. That's, give or take. I don't know. Yeah, Wanda says she was waiting for Black Widow. I think, yeah, Black Widow got pushed. I feel bad for Black Widow. Black Widow should have gotten her own movie a long time ago. So, but hey, at least we're going to get it eventually. And that's coming to Disney Plus as well. Yep. Okay, so Tyson says that he's going to go to a theater just as long as he's cautious, which definitely, I think if you just wear your mask, I think it'd be fine. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I don't know if they sell concessions or not. I'm not sure, but yeah. And yeah, I think, you know what? I think that's pretty much it for this topic. I don't really think there's much else to talk about. Let's get into the main one. Pow, pow, pow. It's Robert Pattinson. It's Battinson. All right, so we're going to be talking about Matt Reeves, the Batman. This is where we get right into it. Oh, it looks like Ronnie showed up just in time as we just talk about the Batman. She says, AMC is doing extremely well with COVID. I remember Tenet was a quarter full, and it seems safe. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Ronnie, what do you think of... We just talked about Mortal Kombat if you just joined us. What do you think about Mortal Kombat? Let me know. Are you excited? Yes. Okay, exactly. So Ronnie says, you mean the Batman that everyone is forgetting about. I was just about to bring up... I brought up in my earlier stream how my excitement level for this movie has gone up and then gone down. And then gone up again and then like flatlined. Where it's like, I don't... Yeah, so you bring up a great point where it's like, I'm frustrated with this movie already for many reasons, but yeah. Oh, I think Lyndon's in the chat. How you doing, Lyndon? Good to see you. Ronnie says that she's down with Mortal Kombat. That's cool. And Ronnie says that she agrees. Yeah, so the reason why the stream, or why I decided to make the stream, because movie news, it's weird. Like, the movie news this week has been kind of blah. Like, I haven't really, like, found anything too interesting to talk about, other than it did just drop that Mads Mikkelsen will be the villain in Indiana Jones 5, I think, with Harrison Ford. They just announced that, so that's cool, I guess. If you want to see Harrison Ford be Indiana Jones, I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you're excited to see another Harrison Ford Indiana Jones. How old is Harrison Ford now? Is he almost 80? Like, how old is that dude? I just don't know if that really works anymore, but it is what it is. Disney will milk all the Lucasfilm properties for what they're worth. Oh, Lyndon says they're gonna kill off Melina. Is that something that I'm not a big video game person. Does that happen in the video games a lot or no? Oh, I don't have. Okay, so I don't have it set up, but we'll go back because I just saw. So we gotta go back to the main. How you guys doing? And I just saw that we got a tip. So let's play it. Yeah. So we weren't on this screen, but we just got tipped $10. Thank you so much. If you guys want to support the show, there's a tip link in the description. You can go to the tip link. You can send a tip. That was a $10 tip. Thank you from an anonymous person. Thank you so much for tipping. I appreciate it. Are we at 10 likes already? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did I just play it again? Sorry, I hit that again. My bad. We're at 9 likes. That's awesome. Thank you so much. If you're new here, definitely hit that like button. It helps the stream go out to the universe and all of its greatness. So thank you guys so much for dropping in and joining and stuff like that. And thank you for that tip. That's awesome. I appreciate it. It really helps grow. It really helps grow the channel. And yeah, but anyways, back to the funness. We'll go back to the screen. Yeah, back to this. So what do you want to see from the Batman? Like, if this could be your Batman movie, what would you do? You know, and I think the thing that would really, the thing that would really help set, like, the thing that I want to see most is I want him to be a detective, because we've not really seen Batman be a detective. And I really want to see the relationship between Alfred, which is played by Andy Serkis, by the way, but I really want to see Alfred and him trying to solve crimes, right? It's reported that this is supposed to be year 2 of that he's been Batman, so he's fairly new to the game. And yeah, I don't know. Now, like I stated, we're at 11 now. That's awesome. Like I stated in the earlier stream that I did this afternoon, I'm not the biggest Matt Reeves fan. Matt Reeves, I'm not the biggest fan. Wasn't a huge. I enjoyed Planet of the Apes, the second one. Wasn't a big fan of the other one, the third one. Wasn't a big fan. So I don't know. I saw Lyndon comment. What did he say? She was killed in MKX and lost to Sonya in Annihilation. Oh, yeah, I wonder. You're probably right. They're probably going to do some sort of, like, callback to those movies. And you might be right. Melina might lose her life. I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but I've spent the last week basically watching a bunch of videos to try to learn the lore, so that when I watch the movie, I know what I'm watching, because it just seems like I said, it's a very video game centric movie, and so it's made for the fans, and so, like, I want to know what's going on. I want to get all the references when I see the movie. So been doing my research. We're at 11 likes now. Awesome. And like I said, I want Robert Pattinson to be a detective. But again, I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. I'm very, very nervous. Production on this, obviously there was COVID, so, like, you're gonna, stuff got pushed. And it was supposed to come out the month of my birthday, and then it got pushed. And so I'm not happy. I was bummed when they were like, oh yeah, no, it no longer comes out on your birthday, it gets pushed. I was kind of bummed, and I was excited. I want there to be and I think Paul Dano's going to be great, I think Paul Dano's going to be great, but I would, if they could find a way to mix the animated series with, kind of like because this looks like a very realistic film, like very grounded, very, very real. But I miss the Joel Schumacher aspect, and maybe again it might be nostalgia because it's what I grew up on, but I miss the kind of silliness of the Joel Schumacher movies, and it bothers me because it's like, okay, with this new Batman, it's so grounded in reality. Will we ever get a Clayface? Can we get a Mr. Freeze, like you could do a grounded Mr. Freeze, but it's like, I want to see those things in a Batman franchise again. It's been a long time. Or like a Poison Ivy, you know what I'm saying? And there are just so many, like, more fantastical villains that we just kind of shutting the door on them because we want to do a more grounded and realistic take. And another thing is, how similar is this going to be to the Nolan movies, right? Like, is it going to be too similar? Like, I think there's a danger of it not being different enough from what Nolan did. I could be wrong. I don't think we haven't seen enough, but overall, I think, it looks beautiful. I think Paul Dano as the Riddler is going to be super cool. I'm excited that because you've positioned the Riddler to be the villain, that automatically shows me that, like, okay, Batman will have to solve, like, puzzles. Like, he's going to have to go be a detective. So that's cool. I just hope that, yeah. And Batman is supposed to be, like, the smartest dude in the room. So when he steps into a room, he's supposed to know more than anyone. So I really hope that they kind of capture that essence. I do think from all the images that I've seen of him as Bruce Wayne, I think he's going to be a very different Bruce Wayne. And now, I haven't really read a lot of the newer comics. I know Ronnie probably could totally give us the down low on probably more Batman than I could. But yeah, and I see that she said a few things, so we will read those in a second. But I feel like his Bruce Wayne is going to be very, very, very different, and he's going to be very divisive. I think there's going to be people that hate his Bruce Wayne, and there's going to be people that love his Bruce Wayne, and that's just how the cookie's going to crumble. You know what I'm saying? What do we got here? Wanda says, not sure about Robert Pattinson. Just seems weird that he's Batman / Bruce Wayne. We'll see. Exactly. Ronnie says that if she feels like it might be closer to the Arkham games, which that could be too. I wonder. Maybe we just haven't seen enough, because that trailer that they released didn't show us much at all. So I wonder. I've always wanted, my favorite Batmobile of all time is the animated series one, because when I was little I had like the Batmobile toy, and I just loved like the length of the Batmobile, and like how it, I don't know, I just think that's my favorite Batmobile for sure, is the animated series one. And it seems like they kind of took inspiration with the fins on the back in this movie, so that'll make me excited, I guess. Wanda says, I hope it's very different from the Nolan films. I love them, but we've seen it. I love something that feels new and different. Yeah, and I mean, it's this character it's a very old character, and as time goes on, I think you see that, I mean, people can reinvent things, and you have new things that happen in culture that can inform a different version, but it definitely how many Batmans, how different can you make Batman, I wonder, without changing it like considerably. Let's see here. Tyson says, like I said in the other stream, I have not seen the Batman movies. I don't really have anything to, but I'll watch them all eventually. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to take in too. If you've never seen any of the Batman movies, that's hard to. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. But maybe you start with this one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you wait until March, and maybe this is the first Batman that you see. Like, that'd be interesting. Like, that would be really cool, actually. And then you can do whatever you want to do. But if this was the first Batman you saw, and then you were able to come back on a stream and talk about how you felt about the movie, and that be the first Batman movie you've ever seen, that would be such an interesting viewpoint that I would love to know. So, very interesting. Ronnie says, I'm not a fan of Pattinson's emo vibe, but yeah. I just love Bachelor Batman. Have you played through the Telltale Batman game? No, I have not, but I've watched it on YouTube. I'm not a big gamer. Like, I don't play games that much, so it didn't really hit me to play the game. But I did watch the whole the cinematic, I guess you'd call it. I did watch that on YouTube, and it definitely kind of gives me those vibes as well. You definitely bringing up some good stuff. The Dark Knight trilogy is really good. If you were to ask me what my favorite Batman movie is, that's kind of tough. That's very tough. I don't even know if I can answer that. I love Batman Begins. You know, I just think that's kind of before that was Christopher Nolan when Christopher Nolan was trying. That's still a young Christopher Nolan. You know what I'm saying? That's still Christopher Nolan trying to prove himself as a filmmaker. And so I just think there's a lot to love in Batman Begins. And it also came out at a time, you know, it came out in 2005, and I was, you know, I mean, I was just turning into a teenager at that time. So, or like, you know, like just about to be a teenager. So, and I spent the whole summer, I remember, playing the Xbox video game and watching the trailers, and that movie was very hype for me for sure. So it's exciting. Ronnie brings up an interesting point. She says, you really only have to see Keaton and the Dark Knight. The others are throwaways in her opinion. And like, she's not wrong. Like, she's definitely not wrong. Like, you could skip the other ones, because I think it's also, it depends on when you were born. Like, I grew up on the Joel Schumacher movies, so like they have a warm place in my heart, and I will always love them. Not so much Batman and Robin. I think Batman and Robin is kind of a trash film, but I think there's still redeeming qualities of Batman Forever. And I'd probably either watch Batman 89 or Batman Forever. Out of those early films, those are the two that I watch the most. But the one that I watch the most is Batman Begins. Yeah, I'll have to play it at some point. We'll see. I need to. It's probably awesome. Didn't they make a sequel? I thought they made a sequel. And also, they're not around anymore, right? The Telltale, that whole group is not around anymore. Didn't they disband? I thought so. Ahmed says Telltale is killer. So they've only made what did they make? They made a Batman, and then they made something else, right? Oh, they made a Guardians. They made a Guardians game. I think that's it though, in terms of superheroes. I think. Yeah. Did they get bought by somebody, and so like, yeah, it's just gone. Interesting. Very interesting. See, now Ronnie's hyped it so much that I gotta play it. Because if the first one's good and then the second one's good, I'm gonna have to play it. I do vaguely remember watching the first playthrough, like with the penguin and everything. It was pretty interesting. Minecraft story. Oh, Telltale made a Minecraft? I did not know. Like a Minecraft one? Or are you talking about something else? I don't know. That's interesting. That is interesting. But yeah, and I think it's so interesting. So they announced that this is going to be in Earth 2, which is basically like just another universe. So not the mainline DC continuity. They a few months ago, or like a month ago, or 2 months ago, they announced that this is going to be Earth 2. So we'll see what that means. Like, okay, cool, I guess. But then it begs to question, like, is Superman in this universe? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this a grounded universe, or are there Superman exists? Like, what's going on? Is there a Justice League? Like, is this Batman going to be like inducted into the Justice League? Are we going to get now there was, okay, so J.J. Abrams, I had to, in one of my early rendered image shows, we talked about how J.J. Abrams and I always mess up his name, but Tennessee Coates, oof, they're making a Superman movie, and so I wonder if that is going to be a part of this universe, if it's going to be part of Earth 2. My guess is going to be no. The only reason why I say that is because I don't see J.J. Abrams' style fitting in with this universe and this Batman. Just based on what we've seen from Matt Reeves, I don't see those two things mixing. So, but I could be wrong. Tyson says, "Yeah, Telltale made a story mode for Minecraft. That's interesting. I never thought Minecraft would have a story mode, but that's cool." But yeah, I'm excited. I want to hear what the Salton twins have to say about the Batman. I don't know where they are, but they should chime in. And are they excited? Because I mean, and when are we gonna? And Colin Farrell is the Penguin, and I think that's very interesting. He might be the standout role. Him and Paul Dano too, though. Like if we're gonna speculate right now, and we're like, okay, who's gonna give the best performance, right? Like out of the whole cast, you got Paul Dano, you got Andy Serkis, you got Colin Farrell as the Penguin. There's other players too, but like, who's gonna give the best performance? And don't sleep on Colin Farrell though. Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on his Penguin. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that, and then why am I spacing? Catwoman. Somebody help me out in the chat. I'm blanking. Kravitz. What's her name? Please, somebody help. Zoe, thank you. Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman. I could not think of her name to save my life. So yeah, I think, and you know what? And she looks like a very, and it's like, they set it up in the trailer. It's like, is she an ally or is she a villain? Like, and obviously I would assume that she'd kind of be both. I'm assuming that she's going to help Batman to figure out the mysteries. You know what I'm saying? She's going to come in and know an important piece of information that helps Batman figure out the mystery. So, and I really hope that they push it. Now, I don't think this movie has a rating yet, right? I could be wrong, but I don't think this movie has a rating. Now, I don't know if they're going to push it to an R rating. I highly doubt it, but I would love for them to push the violence. Like, if Robert Pattinson just, like, beats the crap out of people, like they kind of hint to it in the trailer, that he's just, like, he's new to being Batman, so he's just kind of more brutal, and he's not so defined yet. Like, I'd be kind of down for that. Ahmed says, like what Ronnie said about the emo Zoe. Oh yeah, you're not a fan of Zoe Kravitz Catwoman? But why though? Like, I mean, I don't know. It's so hard. Like, I can't say I'm a fan or I'm not a fan because I feel like we haven't seen enough. Like, we haven't seen Paul Dano's the Riddler, like, barely at all. We haven't really seen, like, Robert Pattinson be Bruce Wayne. I feel like I'm going to have issues with the Bruce Wayne. The Batman, and you can't really, like, I mean, once you put somebody in the costume, right, like, you get the image right here, right, like, he's in a Batman costume. And I think you put anybody in a Batman costume, and it's going to look like Batman. And you shoot, like, the way, these filmmakers are not incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can light things to make it look really pretty. They have a big enough budget where they can make Robert Pattinson look like Batman and look like a good Batman, I feel like. But it's when all that stuff is stripped away and he's just got to act as he's got to, he's really got to bring it as Bruce Wayne, where that's where my concern is. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, Batman is, you know, I'm not saying Batman is easy to play, but I think it's harder to pull off a convincing Bruce Wayne. Ahmed says, I'm very intrigued about the movie. I very much enjoyed Dawn of Planet of the Apes when it came out. The slow burn. I'm not a fan of Pattinson being emo, or rather his Bruce Wayne not a playboy. Yeah, I think, you know, so in the trailer, he looks very like, he's got longer hair. He looks kind of unkempt and like he doesn't really like give a shit about his appearance, which I guess might, it's probably just like their take on an early Bruce Wayne, right? Like I feel like over the course of whatever, if it's a trilogy, they say it's going to be a trilogy, but I guess that all depends on how well this movie does, right? They'll have to see. They'll have to make a killer. They're gonna have to make a killer movie in order for this to probably get sequels. But either way, I think that's part of the arc that they're trying to take Bruce Wayne. They're gonna, you know, introduce us to this Bruce Wayne who doesn't really give a shit and who just wants to go out and like beat the shit out of people because he's angsty and he's just like pissed off at the world. And then like over the course of the trilogy, he will become the Bruce Wayne that we all kind of know. That's at least what I think. Yeah, he's definitely the emo vibe, but I think he's going to shed it. I think he's definitely, and he may shed it in the movie. That may be the arc of the movie where he realizes, oh, I'm the Batman and I need to be, you know, I need to be the Batman. Who knows? But I also hope that there's a scene where Andy Serkis just beats the living shit out of this dude. Like, they're just like in the cave and they're training, and then like Andy Serkis just beats the crap out of Pattinson's like Bruce Wayne. That'd be pretty awesome. So please give us that scene. Ahmed says, I'm very excited for Zoe. I just hope that in the film we see the development of the facades. Yeah, for sure. Wanda says, he definitely has an emo vibe. That's for sure. Ronnie says, yeah, I definitely could see that arc. I just hope he's not all sulky about his parents. Oh, I think this is going to be the most, I don't know, I could be, well, let's see. Val Kilmer was a sulky motherfucker. Val Kilmer, like, definitely was like, oh, my parents, and kind of, Affleck not so much, but definitely Val Kilmer was, you know, and then George Clooney was like, oh, my Alfred. I don't want to, I don't want to talk about those movies because I don't want to spoil it for Tyson, but yeah. Why did you say that name? But yeah, and I wonder if we're gonna get another Batman origin scene. Who knows? What are we at? I'm gonna see where we're at in terms of likes. So right now, I mean, my screen says 10 likes. That's pretty awesome. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. We'll go back to the thingy. But yeah. So I just, you know, I'm excited for the movie, and but I'm gonna be honest, I'm always excited for superhero movies. Like I can't not be excited. I don't think there's been one superhero movie that I haven't like been super jacked about. I don't think it's really ever existed. Ever since I was a little child and I feasted my eyes. What was the first? So I think, yeah, the first superhero movie that I ever saw was Spider-Man back in 2002. No. It was X-Men. Duh, because X-Men came out before. And X-Men would have been 2000. So I was a wee little lad when that came out. And ever since then, I've been on the superhero movie train for sure. Thor: The Dark World. Mine says 11, but we got the 10 either way. Thor 2. Thor 2 was probably the worst superhero movie experience I've ever had, because I don't remember anything about that movie. My first was The Dark Knight when I was 8. That's a pretty big. I mean, it's a pretty big movie to see when you're like 8 years old. I remember. So it was funny. I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When, so the summer before it came out, or not the summer. So sorry. So I was a freshman in high school. The before like the summer, and then we had summer break, and then the movie came out. So that year, like they cast Heath Ledger as the Joker, and I remember telling everybody at my school, I was like, Heath Ledger is going to be awesome as the Joker, and nobody believed me. Everybody was like, "Oh no, Brokeback Mountain dude, like there's no way." But I remember there was, and if you've seen my, well, no, I don't think I included that, but so I used to make like little fun music videos back when I was, a young guy, and there was a leaked promo, not a leaked, but like a promo image of Heath Ledger's Joker, and it was like him kind of in, not in silhouette, but in like this dark lighting, and you saw the makeup. And I remember I found that image early on, and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." So I had seen what he looked like in the makeup well before the movie even came out, and I was telling people at school that he was going to be kick-ass, and then the summer happened, and then I went back for my sophomore year, and then everybody was like, "This is the best Joker in the world," and I was like, I told you, and no one believed me until he came and pulled his chops. And I remember waking up the morning that he died. I remember waking up and seeing that on the news, and it was like right before the Oscars, and I was like, I felt that was that was probably one of the first like celebrity deaths that like really kind of got to me, or the first time I'd ever really paid attention to that. And that one was crazy. That was rough. Because this, and it's like, oh wow, like then I got to see his, because he died in January, and then the movie came out in the summer, so you like had to wait to. It was so strange, and like watching him on screen, but he wasn't alive, and like that was a surreal experience for me too. It's very interesting. As you shouldn't. I'm behind on the comments. Captain Marvel is my least favorite Marvel film that I've seen. Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. I'm indifferent on the Captain Marvel, to be honest. Maybe I gotta watch it again. Maybe it'll work better with the sequel. I'm not sure. I didn't hate it, necessarily. Wanda says, I think I saw Superman on TV when I was little. Then X-Men was probably the first new superhero movie that kicked off the news. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm the only one that thought Thor 2 was decent. Not great, but decent. I did not like Thor 2 at all. I don't even remember what happens in that movie. And that's very rare for me to not remember what happens in a movie that I've seen. Ronnie says, yes, you're the only one. Joking. Definitely okay with the sense of... Yeah, Age of Ultron was kind of a letdown too. We'll have to see. But yeah, so let's go on to the next topic. Come here, remote. Oh my goodness. Do people even use remotes anymore? I feel like I aged myself there when I said, "Oh, come on, remote," and I'm using a keyboard. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious is the topic. Oh, no way. Wanda sends in a $5. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. Can you guys not hear that? There's supposed to be sound with that. But we just got another $5 tip. Thank you so much, Wanda. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Sticking with me. Thank you so much for support. Supportion? Oof, that sounds really close to a word that I'm... Ooh, supportion. Oof, my goodness. Thank you for the support. For supporting. Not supportion. But yeah, no, sorry, we'll go back to the... All right, so they just released a trailer of like yesterday for Fast and the Furious 9. I'm gonna tell you right now, the trailer was not good. That was a not good, no good trailer, and I'll tell you why. Because it was like 3 minutes long. It's a 3-minute Fast and the Furious 9 trailer, and I found myself. I got like a minute through the trailer, and then I paused it, and I said, "How much more of this do I have?" And then I realized there was 2 more minutes of this trailer that I had to watch. And I'm like, it boggled my mind. Like, they showed you the entire movie. The entire movie. From start to finish. And I watched the thing and I'm like, okay, well, now I know. Now, I mean, I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie. I think it's one of the worst examples of this happening. Because it happens a lot in trailers. We know this. It happens a ton. But this might be, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. You don't even have to see the whole thing. Go like a minute 30 into it and then stop watching it. Like, you don't have to watch the whole thing. But holy cow, do they like put every single action beat, every single funny moment, I guarantee you, is in this trailer. And now, the thing that boggles my mind is this franchise is now over 20, well, what? Probably 20 years old, because I think the first one came out in 2001. So, yeah, so this franchise is 20 years old. Now, I will give them credit because they did adapt their franchise to stay relevant and to stay, I'm going to use air quotes, fresh. They stayed fresh and new, sort of. Yeah. But I do believe that once Paul Walker left us, I think this franchise should have just hung up their coats and just hung it up and said, that's what I believe. It's very strange because in the trailer they're like, sorry, spoilers for this movie if you care. I don't know. But I just wanted to bring this up and talk about this because it's a new trailer, and while I enjoy the Fast and the Furious franchise-ish, I like the early ones. Like, and again, probably nostalgia. I grew up, I was younger, and I really enjoy the first one. I don't know what it is. I think it's because it wasn't silly at the time, but maybe it was kind of silly at the time. And like, they're stealing DVD players, and like, you look at that nowadays and you're like, oh, that's pretty silly, because it's like DVD players are like such a hot item, and they were back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our first DVD player like in 2000, so right around when this came out. It was kind of a big deal. And so I just think it's funny. Ronnie's watching it right now. She says, would have liked some mystery in John Cena's character. Feels like way too much info overall, though, like you said. Yeah, and this is another thing that drove me nuts. So the whole franchise has been like family this, family that, like, we're a family, family sticks together, blah blah blah. We love each other. We'll sit down. We'll have dinners in our backyard as family, blah blah blah. But in this trailer, now we're all of a sudden introduced to Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel's character. We're introduced to his brother. And it's like, where did he come from? You've been talking about how family's so important to you and this and that, and like family sticks together, and now all of a sudden you just got a brother out of nowhere that we've never heard of. And while that may have worked in the second movie or the third movie, we are now 20 years into this franchise. Where the fuck has this guy been? And it just seems like such an odd direction to go in. And the other thing that blows my mind is they have a line in the trailer where John Cena says, I've lived in your shadow for too long, and now you're going to live in mine, right? Or whatever he says. Something along those lines of like, I've lived in your shadow for my whole life, and now you're going to live in mine. And I can't help but think, what? Like, what shadow are you talking about? Because when we met this character, when we met Dominic Toretto's character, the dude was just he worked and owned like a car body shop and like stole DVD players. Like, that was the character that we were introduced to. So what shadow has this good-looking John Cena It's also something I don't buy. I don't buy that a man who looks as good as John Cena does lives in anyone's shadow. Like, you don't live in Vin's shadow. So, like, I just don't buy that. It's just so silly to me. But that's the whole point of this franchise, right? I mean, you watch in the trailer, or I don't know if it happens in this trailer, but in another trailer, literally somebody catches a car. Literally, I think it was the first trailer that they released, but literally, like, a car gets flung at somebody, and someone is standing on top of, I don't know who it is, I don't know if it's Vin or who it is, but they literally catch the car. And it's like, okay. Like, they're basically superheroes at this point. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, they've totally shifted genres. This is frankly like one of the biggest franchises out there right now. They say they're only going to make one more, but like I said in my earlier stream, I wouldn't be surprised if they're positioning John Cena to take up the mantle of this franchise, and so they'll phase all these old characters out, and they'll bring John Cena in to be the new leading character of the whatever, like, soft reboot that they do. Because, I mean, these films make $1 billion, guys. Like, I don't see this franchise. They're not gonna. It's a Universal property. What other franchise does Universal have besides this? I'm gonna say none, right? So, like, and how we talked about it in our other stream, but, like, studios need these franchises in order to make money, in order to stay in business. You know what I'm saying? It's the movie business. It's the entertainment business. It's a business. So, yeah, I think they're setting up John Cena to come in and be the new lead guy. Exactly. 100%. John Cena is not in anyone's shadow. You know what I'm saying? Trying to pull that on me. That I was like, what? And it looks like at the end of the trailer they're gonna go to space or something. Like, they got them in, like, these space suits. I thought they were, like, gonna be like a submarine car. I don't know what's going on. It's a wild time. Oh yeah, that probably would interfere with the new DC contract. Well, yeah, I mean, John Cena is Suicide Squad, the Peacemaker, right? Yeah, he's the Peacemaker, and he's gonna have a show on HBO Max too. So, but yeah, I don't know. They'll probably take a little bit of a break though, because they're making number 10, which he'll probably be in number 10. But yeah. Oh, Ronnie just joined the Discord. That's what's up. Our Discord is like super. It's kind of like a ghost town right now. So if you guys want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description, but there's not many of us in there, so that's cool. So thank you for joining the Discord. And then, yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to share my thoughts on this trailer, but we can go back to this screen and yeah, so we can chat a little bit more. How long have we been going? Oh, 9:30. That's not bad. It's been about an hour. I did want to talk a little bit about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and share my thoughts. And then I also wanted to mention Invincible. If you're not watching Invincible, you should probably watch Invincible on Amazon Prime. It is fantastic. It's so good. Probably the best. Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think it's the best show on TV right now, for me. The best show on TV. Yeah, I need to drink some more water. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a really great show as well. I do think they're saving a lot of their I'm excited for what they set up, which that's going to be tonight. So probably we'll watch that tonight. Definitely going to be watching that tonight. And Invincible, I'm going to be watching that tonight. I have reviews on the channel for Invincible episodes, so you can go check those out. That'd be a fun time. Yeah. And what else? I have a ton of thoughts, and I didn't really think about what I was gonna say about these shows, other than they're amazing. Um, I love the fact that especially like a show like I don't want to spoil what happens on Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's why I'm trying to like, and same thing with Invincible. So I'm not gonna really go into things as much because you should just go watch the show. Definitely, like for me, like I watched the first episode of Invincible. They dropped 3 episodes they dropped 3 episodes for the first whatever. The first day they dropped stuff, they dropped 3 episodes. I watched the first episode, which is like 40-ish minutes, and I was hooked. And I had to watch the other two, like back to back. Like I stayed up until like 3 in the morning or whatever, and it was and like the animation isn't the best all the time, but it's so good. It's not for kids, so if you have children around, don't watch it because it's an adult show. But yeah, it's brutal, and I love the characters, and they're so interesting, and yeah, so definitely check that out. And Falcon is coming to a close. I will do on the channel. I'll do a review of the series as a whole once it all comes out. My buddy Zach and I on our other channel, the Young Calves, we were going to do episode by episode, so week by week. But we ended up getting the sickness, the sickness, the COVID. We ended up getting COVID at the same time, and that's like right when the show popped off. And yeah, it kind of put us both out of commission for a while, and we kind of missed the first 2 episodes because we were sick for like 2 weeks. And yeah, and it kind of, so that derailed it. So we just decided that once everything releases and once the series wraps up, that we will review the series. So, but if you guys have seen Invincible and if you guys have seen Falcon, let me know what you think about it in the chat. Wanda says that she loves Invincible, and that's thanks to me, of course, no problem. Ronnie says, I'll watch Invincible, but you gotta promise you'll play Batman Telltale eventually. Yeah, I will definitely play it. How do I play it though? That's the question. Like, can I play it on the computer? Because I don't have a game system. I have a PlayStation 2 that's in the closet. So, and I don't think I can't play it on the PlayStation 2, obviously. But if I can play it on the computer, I'm down. Oh yeah, Steam. I could probably download Steam, huh? Which again, I'm not a gamer, so I'm not really experienced with that. But my buddy Zach is, and I know what Steam is, so. Yeah, I mean, I still have a cough, which is kind of weird, from being sick. But other than that, I'm good. And I wish I had. I don't know. I think it's still kind of affected me, it's still kind of with me. I mean, I'm not contagious. I don't have it anymore, but I think the effects have kind of stayed with me a little bit. I'm hoping that the cough goes away. I'm hoping that I don't need to like go back to the doctor to look at this cough. Hopefully it goes away soon, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I got my taste back, which was good. And I also so I'm a pretty skinny person, and I lost like 20 pounds. Literally. Like I was like, what was I like? I was like 160 something at the beginning, like after the holidays and everything. And then I weighed myself recently, and now I'm like at like 130 something. It's crazy. Or 130, 140. I don't know. From like 160 to 140. It was crazy. And yeah, not being able to taste, I was like, man, I really hope I don't lose any more weight, because if I lose any more weight, we're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, yeah, it's the same with you, right, Ronnie? Like it's kind of stuck with you more so. So I need to, yeah, for sure. I will keep an eye. I will keep an eye. I need to maybe rest more and eat better. There are things that I need to definitely do to take care of myself that I could be doing a lot more for sure. But yeah, but with that, I mean, I think that's the show, guys. I don't really know what else to talk about. Like I said, the news cycle was is kind of bare recently, and Marvel's killing it. We got some great shows. I know on my Patreon, I'm gonna be doing commentaries to movies. So if you guys, I know, well, I think every majority of everybody in here I know. So if you guys ever want to come on a commentary, basically I just record my own commentaries for my Patreon. So if you guys ever want to come on and watch a movie with me and record your audio and then it's like a commentary, like that'd be cool with me. I'm down. It'd be kind of fun. I think I'm gonna start with the Batman movies. So we're gonna start there and then evolve the commentary library, as they call it, as I call it. Let's see. Lyndon says, "For me, Invincible really grabs you into their world with the end credits on episode one." Oh yes, oh yes. Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what you should always do. I think with your like with TV shows, like your endings have to be strong because you want people to come back and watch the next episode. And obviously, Invincible was killer. You know, Invincible was Invincible's got some strong content. But yeah, I think guys, I think with that, I think we can wrap up. We can be done. It's been about an hour. It's a pretty fast hour, if I do say so myself. But again, I thank you guys for joining me. And yeah, like I said, the last couple weeks have been kind of hit or miss because of COVID and all that other craziness. But usually, I mean, this show will happen Thursday nights at 8:30, so you guys can come back and join me. You don't have to, obviously you don't have to make every stream, but if you guys can like just drop a like. If you can't make the stream, but you come in and you drop a like, and then you have to come in, or if you come back and watch it later, or like a lot of times with this type of stuff, like I watch other people, so like you can fall asleep to it. You can put it on in the background when you're like working or doing whatever. Really, giving me a view, giving me a like helps out so much. So any way that any way that you're able to do that is super cool, and I really appreciate it. And I am hoping, specifically the people, I mean everybody. Like my goal is to create a community here, where we can talk about movies, talk about film, but then also I'm in the process of making a thesis film, right? So I want to bring you guys on that journey. And I've had a couple meetings with, I got a meeting with a makeup artist Friday. Friday? Yeah, Friday. And I just met with a CG artist who's going to model some things for the movie, for the short film. So I'm excited. A lot is coming. We have a few secret projects. My buddy Zach and we have a few secret projects that some of you in the chat know about. That we are developing, and we got some big names attached to that to come on as producer. So I'm excited. This is only the beginning, and yeah, I thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing all these movies. And Tyson, if you're still here, Tyson, definitely excited to see what you think of the Batman movies. So definitely give those a watch. I'm gonna stop rambling, because I feel like I'm kind of rambling. But again, I appreciate all of you guys coming to hang out with me, and I hope that you are well. Drink lots of water, which I try to do. Definitely, and like, well, Ronnie, I definitely want to like. I want to have guests on the show because while it's nice to sit here and like talk to myself and interact in the chat, if any of you guys want to come on and be a guest for an episode, I'm down. That's cool. I'm totally okay with that. For sure. Good night, Ronnie. I'm gonna go to bed soon too, so because I'm tired. But there's also Falcon and there's Invincible coming out, so but I should really get some rest. See you on the next show. Thank you so much for showing up. All right, guys. With that said, we're all gonna say goodbye. We're all gonna say goodbye to each other. We're all gonna wave to the screen. And I'm going to play the bumper, and then we're going to get out of here. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you around. I'll see you next week. And yeah. Bye guys.